Now, this is a quick follow-up to the video I made a few moments ago. Now, there are moments where you go through the process of making sure all the edges are either green or yellow. Here, if you look at the new natural frequencies, we have 19.6, 32, 45 hertz, and so on and so on. It's still important, even though the natural frequencies are non-zero, it's still important to look at your mode shapes, because sometimes you might have missed a edge that's not fully attached. So here, let's go ahead and animate some of the mode shapes. Let's go ahead and speed or slow down the animation. You can see from this animation that this edge here at the bottom, it's attached. It's moving in unison, if you will. But here on the right, you can see that this edge is not attached. You can see this edge is moving by itself without really influencing the rest of the mesh. Here, this is mode 1. Let's go ahead and look at mode 2. Same thing. You can see this edge is not attached. So even though we have non-zero natural frequencies, you have 10 hertz, 20 hertz, and so on and so on, it's still worth looking at the junctions or the edges, because maybe you missed something. Here, let's go ahead and exit the tool and let's go ahead and look at the colors of these edges. So we'll go ahead and look at the mesh. Here, if you look at the mesh, it looks like it is attached here. It should be moving together in that mode shape. It's not technically movement, it's the mode shape, but here for now I'll call it movement. If you look at this edge, it looks like things are attached, but if you look very closely, you can see that this edge is not on this other edge. If you rotate this a little, let's go ahead and zoom out. There is actually a small gap. So here you can see what the gap looks like. Here, it's kind of flickering orange. You can right click on the screen and then here hover over this option here. It would be this lower dimensional entities option and select faces. Or if you want, you can select points. So right now with the face option, it's highlighting individual faces. Alternatively, you can select the point option. And then that flickering orange will only happen when you hover over a point. Okay, now here you can see the gap. We missed this originally. We went through our process, and when you looked at it, the mesh looked like it was fully attached. It wasn't until we saw some of the natural frequencies that one piece was kind of floating in the air. That was very suspicious. It shouldn't be doing that. It should be fully attached. And here, when we visually inspected that region, we saw the gap. Okay, now what do we do? Like before, we'll go ahead and use vertex as drag, and we'll fix that. So now that gap is fully closed. If you repeat the process, the mode shape should look like this mesh is attached to the rest of the mesh. So that was the other thing I wanted to mention following the previous video. I'll stop here.